The sun slowly rose over the ancient city of Rome, casting golden light on the massive stone structure known as the Colosseum. Millions of tourists visit this monument every year. They take photos, admire the architecture, and listen to guides talk about gladiators and epic battles. But what if the stories told to tourists are only part of the truth? What if some of the darkest secrets of the Colosseum were intentionally erased from history? Today, we are stepping into a story that most people never hear, a story hidden beneath the stones of one of the world's most famous arenas. The Colosseum was built nearly 2,000 years ago during the rule of the Roman Emperor Vespasian and later completed by his son Emperor Titus. It was meant to be a symbol of Roman power and entertainment. A place where tens of thousands of spectators could gather to watch spectacles unlike anything the world had ever seen. At first glance, the arena looked like a place of glory. But beneath the cheers of the crowd, there were whispers of fear. Hidden below the arena floor was a massive underground system called the hypogeum. Dark corridors stretched beneath the Colosseum like a maze. Wooden lifts, cages, and secret passages allowed animals and fighters to suddenly appear in the arena above. But historians believe something else happened down there. Something rarely discussed. Some ancient writings suggest that prisoners were kept in these underground chambers for days, sometimes weeks, before they were brought up into the arena. Not just fighters. Ordinary people. Rebels. Enemies of Rome. Even those who simply spoke against the empire. When the crowd above roared with excitement, they rarely knew who was truly being sent into the arena. Many people believe gladiators were the main stars of the Colosseum. And yes, some of them became famous heroes of Rome. But the truth is far more complicated. Most fighters were slaves. Captured soldiers. Or prisoners with no choice. They were trained to fight, knowing that the arena could be their final moment on earth. But here is the part that many stories leave out. Some gladiators secretly formed bonds of brotherhood. In the darkness of the underground tunnels, they shared stories, hopes, and sometimes plans of escape. There are even ancient rumors that a few prisoners tried to rebel inside the Colosseum itself. Imagine the tension beneath the arena. Chains rattling in the darkness. Torches flickering along stone walls. Fighters whispering quietly while guards patrolled above them. And above it all, thousands of Roman citizens waiting for entertainment. The Colosseum could hold up to 65,000 spectators. Senators, nobles, soldiers, and common people all gathered to witness the spectacle. But what they saw in the arena was carefully controlled. Roman leaders understood something powerful. Stories shape power. So the empire told the stories it wanted people to believe. They celebrated victories, heroic battles, and the strength of Rome. But the suffering, the fear, and the voices of those who died there were rarely written down. And over time, those voices faded into silence. Or so it seemed. Centuries later, archaeologists began studying the ruins more closely. As they explored the underground passages of the Colosseum, they discovered evidence of complex mechanisms, holding cells, and hidden trapdoors. The arena was more than a stage. It was a machine designed to control life and death. Some historians believe that records describing certain events inside the Colosseum mysteriously disappeared during the fall of the Roman Empire. Documents lost. Stories forgotten. Or perhaps deliberately erased. But one thing is certain. The Colosseum was not only a monument of entertainment. It was also a place where power, fear, and survival collided. And the deeper researchers look into its past, the more unsettling questions appear. What truly happened beneath the arena? What stories were buried along with the empire itself? And why do some historians believe the darkest secrets of the Colosseum were never meant to be remembered? To uncover those answers, we have to step deeper into the shadows of history. But before we continue the story, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because the secrets hidden inside ancient monuments like the Colosseum are far more mysterious than most people realize. And what we're about to reveal in the next chapter might completely change the way you see this iconic arena forever. As night falls over the ruins of the Colosseum, the crowds disappear. The noise fades away. And the ancient arena becomes quiet once again. But if these stones could speak, they would tell stories that history books rarely mention. For centuries after the fall of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum stood abandoned. Earthquakes damaged its walls. Builders removed stones from its structure to use in other buildings across Rome. Yet even in ruins, the Colosseum never lost its mysterious presence. Because beneath the arena floor, the underground tunnels still remained. In the 19th and 20th centuries, archaeologists began exploring the hypogeum more seriously. As they cleared debris and studied the underground chambers, they realized the system was far more advanced than anyone had imagined. Dozens of corridors. Hidden elevators powered by human labor. Trapdoors capable of releasing animals directly into the arena. But something else puzzled historians. Some sections of the underground tunnels appeared to have been deliberately sealed. Walls that didn't match the original Roman design. Passages that suddenly ended. Why would the Romans block off parts of their own arena? One theory suggests these areas were used for secret operations during the empire's rule. Not just animal cages or holding cells, but interrogation rooms. Private chambers used by Roman authorities to deal with political enemies away from public view. Remember, the Colosseum was more than a stadium. It was a symbol of Roman authority. And symbols of power are often used to send messages. Sometimes those messages were meant for the entire crowd. Other times, they were meant for individuals who dared to challenge the empire. Some historians believe that certain prisoners brought into the Colosseum were never meant to appear in the arena at all. Instead, they vanished inside the underground network. No public spectacle. No written records. Just silence. And over the centuries, that silence became part of the mystery. Another fascinating detail discovered by archaeologists involves hidden access tunnels leading outside the Colosseum. These passages connected the arena to nearby buildings and military barracks. Officials, soldiers, and even the emperor himself could enter the arena without being seen by the crowd. Imagine the scene. Thousands of spectators roaring above. Gladiators preparing for battle. Animals pacing inside cages. And somewhere beneath the arena, secret meetings taking place in the shadows. The Roman Empire understood something very well. Control the spectacle, and you control the people. The Colosseum was designed not only to entertain but also to remind everyone watching of Rome's absolute power. Victory. Strength. Authority. But history often remembers only the grand monuments and heroic legends. The hidden suffering is easier to erase. Yet every stone of the Colosseum still carries the echoes of those forgotten stories. Today, millions of visitors walk through its massive arches each year. They admire the architecture, take photos, and imagine the roar of ancient crowds. But very few stop to think about the secrets buried beneath their feet. The sealed tunnels. The missing records. The stories that may have been deliberately erased from history. Because sometimes the most powerful empires don't just build monuments. They control the story those monuments tell. And the Colosseum may still be hiding pieces of a past that the Roman Empire never wanted the world to remember. What other secrets remain buried beneath ancient structures? What truths have been lost, or hidden, by time? History is full of mysteries like this, waiting to be rediscovered. And if stories like this fascinate you, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join us on this journey through the hidden side of history. Because the deeper we explore the past, the more incredible secrets we uncover. And sometimes, the most famous places in the world still have the most unbelievable stories left to tell.